Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Johnny Phillips. Bill and Gussie are doing their thing. It's about 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. It's trash day. I had a little rough going last night into this morning. Last night I went to bed and I was sleeping and I felt something. I don't know, felt like something was like crawling on my neck, you know? So I grabbed just an involuntary reaction was to like swipe at it and grab it. And I heard something hit the floor. And it's not uncommon. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, only a few times in the 20 years that I've been here, but it's not uncommon to have a fucking goddamn palmetto bug, joining you in bed. So I go back to sleep, and I don't know, about an hour and a half later, fucking same thing again, man. I jump up, I turn the fucking light on, and I rip everything off that fucking bed, and sure enough, there's a fucking big ass palmetto bug in my bed with me, man. I fucking went into psycho mode. I grabbed that fucking thing off my bed, threw it on the floor, and then grabbed one, and he was stunned. He was like laying on his back, like, what the fuck was that? I threw him onto the tile floor. And then I took a fucking shoe, and I wound up like I was swinging a fucking baseball bat down onto the ground, and I smashed that fucker. And I did it 3 times just to make sure he was fucking dead, you know? But if you're thinking about moving to Florida, man, there's a couple things you need to know about. The first day I was here, when we moved to Florida, we were staying in a condo down on Siesta Beach. And the whole family's there, you know? Everybody who was moving to Florida. We go into this condo and there's a fucking goddamn 2-inch cockroach on the it's a beautiful place, you know? Beautiful condo down on the water. And it's like a 2-inch palmetto bug, which is a fucking king-size nuclear grade fucking cockroach. So it's on the drapes that look out over the lanai, out to the water. And I was like, stand back, everybody, I got this. I fucking go over there, I roll up a magazine, and I fucking whack this motherfucker, and it comes flying off of that drape right into my fucking head, man. I goddamn almost broke my back trying to get away from this fucking thing. And Florida is not all it's cracked up to be, man. If you're basing your thoughts about moving to Florida on a fucking 2-week vacation you had here, where it's all bells and whistles and everything's fine, and no, you ain't getting a true picture of it. You might want to, I don't know how, I'm not going to give any advice, but let me just tell you, there's a lot of hidden shit, like red ants. We used to go in the park up in Rhode Island, man, on the weekends. You put a blanket out, you fucking sit in the grass, on a blanket. That shit, listen to this guy. Fucking Trumper. Every day, just making fucking noise. Anyways, yeah, leave your blanket at home for sitting out in the grass, because it ain't gonna happen. You'll be lunch for about 10 million fucking red ants. So just wipe grass and any activities on grass out of your life. But anyway, so I get up. Last night when I went to bed, I realized that I'd run out of coffee, man. And I usually buy like 3 or 4 pounds at a time at Dunkin' Donuts, because they had a sale. you could get the shit cheap, you know. The more you buy, the cheaper it was. It ended up being $5-6 a pound if you bought four of them. But that sale's gone. But anyways, I ran out of coffee. I had less than a scoop in the thing left, and I got up this morning and I literally have to have coffee, man. It's the first thing I do. Is I may take a piss first, but I'm heading towards a coffee pot. So I get there and realize, oh fuck, I forgot I didn't have coffee. So I take the coffee that I had left and I dump it in the coffee grounds from yesterday. And I use like half the water just because I'm like, I just got to get a cup or two in me, you know? So I pour that in, and then when that's all done brewing, which it looked a little weak and nasty, you know, day old fucking grounds, little bit of mold grown. Nah, no mold. I mean, it was only a day, but then I find the cup of coffee that I had yesterday morning, and it only had like a half a cup in it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna use that too. So I pour this coffee in. I pour this nasty coffee into this day-old cup of coffee, and I drank the whole fucking thing. It was horrible. Then I realized I can't drink any more of this shit. I just have to leave the house unprepared. I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I got fucking 3 pounds of coffee and a hot coffee so that I could actually have some while I drove home to make a pot. But yeah, it's been a tough couple of hours between the palmetto bug that I murdered, you know, went psychotic on. It was when that thing crawled on me the second time, it was like there was an armed intruder in my house. I went fucking ballistic, man. I mean, I smashed that thing so fucking hard 3 times. His fucking great-grandparents could feel that fucking pain. Anyways, that's what living in Florida is like. And then I came out this morning. It's beautiful out here. I am getting, you know, the buffet is open for the mosquitoes. But it's all good, man. I mean, you gotta be somewhere. Nothing's perfect. I'd hate to sell this place and move and then realize that was the biggest mistake I ever made. We'll see. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good start to the week. I had a good day yesterday. I had some real nice customers that regular customers. I really enjoy the people. I mean, that's one of the biggest benefits for me, being in business and doing service. I've always enjoyed talking to people and befriending people, and it's just who I am. I remember even as a little kid, I'd go up and knock on a neighbor's door and sit there and talk to the people all fucking day. Pretty inquisitive, and I enjoy it, you know, I really do. And I like to take care of. Somebody made a comment about the houses that I work in. 99.9% of the houses that I'm working in are very, very clean. A lot of them are brand new or fairly new. Definitely not like the houses up in the north where, you know, they were built in the 1800s and the basements look like fucking dungeons for the most part. So you gotta be conscious of that and keep the places clean. Which I've always been a guy, you know, when I work neatness. I remember one builder telling me, you know, he watched me work when I first started. I impressed my boss and the guys that I was working with. They knew immediately that I was a fucking asset to their team. And the builder came up to me after watching me do a tub set with another guy all day, and he said, you know, he said, neatness counts, man. And he said, you do nice work. And it really does. I can't, when I work, I need to clear the clutter. You know what I mean? I'm always wiping shit down. I'm always cleaning up, getting rid of shit I don't need. It's just the way I work. I'm gonna do today, a lot of people have been asking for me to do a video on my tool bag, which is constantly changing. I had a little bag from Harbor Freight. I can't even think of the name of it. It was a blue bag, maybe about 9 or 10, 12 by 12, little square bag. But the material was so cheap that, you know, putting your tools in the pockets, within a couple of months, 2-3 months, the pockets wore out and all my shit was just falling out every time I picked my bag up. I mean, I could have gone to, you know, putting some you know, sheet metal or something in there, some plastic. That's something that's going to be a little tougher down at the bottom that could withstand my tools, but it was kind of tight. I didn't like it. I carry a lot of shit. I do not like, you know, I like to have all the tools that I need to do a job with me. So my bag's heavy. It always has been. My help is always bitching at me. They're always trying to thin my shit out. And so I may do a spot today on my truck again with depending on if my phone rings. Like I said, it's been slow, man. It's normal for this time of year, but I look at it like guys who are punching the clock, and you know, they've been working at a place for 30 years or 25 years. They get 4 or 5 weeks of vacation, and I'm entitled to that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm entitled to take some time off, more than a week or 2 a year. So it's all good. I'm not sweating it. But I may do a little shot on my tool bag, what I carry around in my bag, the type of tools I like. I'm an old school guy. I'm not into all the newfangled shit. Just not interested in it, man. I don't see the benefits of it. I think it's a lot of people are enamored with shiny objects, and they gotta buy them, you know. That's not me. Especially with the battery powered shit, you know. And this new sewer machine, you know, it's basically a fucking rod inside of a sheath with a couple of chains on the end, and you use your cordless drill to clean out sewer lines. That's a fucking joke, if you ask me, man. A cordless drill? Are you kidding me? I get into shit where it's putting a stress on a fucking 1 horsepower motor on a fucking Route 66 or whatever size it is. Fucking cordless drill isn't gonna do anything but burn up the drill, and it's just not for me, man. My shit works great. The Super V I used yesterday on my video on this kitchen sink, which I really like the way that came out, man. It was nice that I could cut that Studevant off. A lot of guys, like the guy before me who was there, he took the Studevant out and he used that as the clean out. But it's a very awkward thing. I could see the signs that it was messy. I could see the side of the cabinet where his cable was slapping all over the fucking place and scratching the inside of the cabinet. And the way I did it, luckily I had a 1.5 inch Fernco, and I have no idea where that came from. I did buy a load of shit from a guy who buys Home Depot auctions. You know, he goes in, he bought all the plumbing stuff, and I bought a lot of that stuff, and that's probably where that came from. I got a lot of stuff for, I think I only spent $250, man. And I literally got probably $3,000-4,000 worth of shit, open packages and just parts people bought and didn't need them and brought them back. But that flexible Fernco 90 was perfect for that situation yesterday. I was able to get the access point out to the front of the cabinet, put a moving blanket in to cover the cabinet inside, and I used a bucket. Because obviously it's a lot better. You're a lot better off when you can run water when you're rotting out a line. And my intention when a lot of guys, as soon as the water goes down, they quit. That's it. That's really not what you should be doing. Drain cleaning is about fucking, descaling as much as you can and opening up that line. If you're just popping a hole through so the water goes down and then you're packing it in and leaving, that shit's gonna back up again, man. You're really doing your customers a disservice. So when I can keep the water running, which is the way I did that one yesterday, it's really good, man. And you can do that on lavatories and everything. You can simply make up real quick. You can make up a little adapter where you got a trap adapter that goes up to the pop-up, and then a Fernco onto the drain. Take the trap off, and just run the fucking sewer machine right through the PO, man. And turn the water on. And when you see it go down, when you see that water start to go down, that's where the stoppage is. So, don't spend your time, scouring the shit out of an area that's 2 feet away from where the actual problem is. It's key to find out when that water starts to drop. Because when it starts to drop, that's the area you need to work on. I try to go forward and back, 2-3 feet on like a line like that kitchen line. And I could feel when that cable head went from a 2-inch line into a 4-inch line. There was a totally different feel to it. So anyways, I'm starting to babble. I didn't really have anything to talk about. I wanted to share my palmetto bug story, and for you guys, I've seen guys, tough guy, kid that worked for me, man. Tough motherfucker. Oops, excuse me, but let me tell you something, man. You could point a loaded gun right into this kid's face and he wouldn't fucking flinch. I threw a fucking palmetto bug on his neck one day and he was screaming like a fucking little girl, man. Funny as shit. But anyways, I'm just gonna post this. It's Tuesday morning. I hope you all have a great day. I'll try to get a video up tonight. And for my faithful morning watchers, I appreciate you. And if you're retired, enjoy your retirement, man. You worked hard to get it, Someday I'll get there. I won't be one of those guys who regrets retirement, because I'll always find something to do. Every day of my life I'm doing something. I never just lay around and do nothing. So I'm sure I'd continue that into retirement. I'm hoping to get there someday, man. Hoping to be able to retire and enjoy life without work. We'll see how it goes, but have a good morning, guys.